Well, staying in South Africa's group, where Pakistan lost all 3 Group B matches to crash out of the Champions Trophy. They also lost to West Indies and India. We can now speak to Saj Sadiq from PakPassion.net. Hi, Saj.
Hi.
So, where did it all go wrong for Pakistan?
Oh, where do I begin? It was really poor batting performances. The emphasis on the preparation ahead of the tournament had been on the batting, and unfortunately, in all 3 matches, the batsmen failed to deliver, barring the captain, Misbah ul Haq, who really almost single-handedly carried the batting order, and he had little support. Possibly you could say Nasser Jamshed, the young opening batsman, did quite well, but the rest of the batsmen, they were absolutely abysmal.
You say failed to deliver. What were your expectations going into the tournament?
Well, Pakistan had reached the semi-finals of the last 6 ICC tournaments, and I think generally the media, the fans, former players expected Pakistan to reach at least the semi-finals. It was a huge disappointment, the fact that they lost all 3 games.
Looking at it now, the media and how quickly we turn on teams, what's been said? What's the reaction been like?
Oh, the reaction, as expected, has been very negative. The knives are out straight away. As I say, it wasn't just the fact that they lost the 3 games, it was the manner of the defeats, especially the game, albeit it was affected by the weather against India, but that the gulf between the 2 sides was frightening. And the knives have been out for some of the players: Shoaib Malik, Kamran Akmal, Mohammad Hafiz, Imran Farhat, 4 to name. And also the coach, Dav Watmore, has been under a lot of pressure since the debacle.
We'll talk about Dav Watmore in a minute, but I want to talk to you about that Pakistan-India match, because for the neutral going into it, you thought, brilliant, this is going to be a fantastic match, great occasion, and you're right. Although the weather did play some part of it, it did just fell damp, didn't it, in every sense of the word?
Absolutely, yes. The weather did spoil the match, but needless to say, I mean, the difference between the 2 sides, I mean, the Pakistani fielding generally during the tournament has been pretty good. No criticism there. The bowling, the Pakistani pace bowling and the spinners performed very well. But when you're given totals of 160, 170 or so by the batsmen to defend, then not even the best bowling attacks in the world are going to be able to defend those totals.
On that weather issue, Saj, we've had lots of tweets and Facebook messages saying that it's been a complete shambles by the ICC, in particular looking ahead to the trophy final this Sunday. A lack of contingency, lack of planning over not bringing in this reserve day for the finals to be played, when they know just how wet England can be during the summer.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think the group stages, it would have been difficult to have a reserve day for those matches, but I think the semi-finals and the final, there should have been a reserve day planned. It's a shame that a 50-over tournament has to be curtailed short, especially the final.
There's a change in the tournament format. Obviously, this is the last year of the Champions Trophy final as in its current sense. What have you made of the format?
I think the format has been very good. You've got the best 8 sides in the world. All 8 deserve to be in the tournament. You play each other once. It's a do-or-die situation from game 1. So every game matters, obviously apart from the Pakistan-India game, because Pakistan were already out. But every single one of the group games was vitally important, and I think every team went into each game giving it 100% and trying to win every game.
The new ICC World Test Championship replaces it. But for the Champions Trophy, I wonder what the legacy will be, because for many it was billed as being sort of a mini World Cup, but it hasn't really lived up to that, has it?
If it were down to me, I would continue with a 50-over championship of sorts. Even if it's not labelled the Champions Trophy, I think there should be a 50-over competition. There's a lot of talk about one-day cricket dying, so to speak, and I think a tournament like the Champions Trophy, needs to be continued, in whatever guise they have it, whether it's 6 teams, 8 teams, maybe even expanded to 10 or 12 teams. But in my opinion, I think that there should definitely be a continuation of a 50-over international tournament.
Just daft though when they reduce it to 2020 like today. It's a bit like, as Roger puts this on one of the tweets, a bit like making the World Cup for football a 5-a-side match. Doesn't work, does it?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, it's a 50-over tournament, and as best you can, each match should be 50 overs.
We touched on Dav Watmore, the coach of Pakistan. Let's bring it back to Pakistan now. He says he's building for the 2015 World Cup. Do you think he'll be given the chance?
Well, Dav was given a 2-year contract last year. He's into the second year now. It'll be interesting to see what happens at the end of the 2 years. I think a lot depends on the performances in the upcoming series against West Indies, and then Pakistan play a series against Zimbabwe, which obviously they should comfortably win. But then they've got a series against South Africa in UAE. Whether Dav actually stays beyond the 2 years is difficult to judge. In my opinion, I think at the end of the 2 years he will probably step down or ask to be stepped down. I don't think he's had the impact that perhaps the Pakistan Cricket Board hierarchy were hoping for.
Saj, great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us on Sports World. That's Saj Sadiq from pakpassion.com.